So what we have here is water, okay, that's supposed to be used for drinking, okay, and supposed to be used for bathing, getting mixed in with oil, chemicals, sludge, seawater, and other fluids that will make you sick. What? Hey, my friend, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Tap the notifications bell so that way you get notified whenever I post a new video. And leave a comment down below about what you think about this video and why this is concerning for you. So not too long ago, there was an article that came out about the water on the ship of the USS Nimitz being contaminated. So let me just show you what some of the people on board the Nimitz were saying before the article ever got released. And this is utterly disturbing, right? This is utterly disturbing because, you know, as someone that was in the Navy, on a ship, on deployment, or out to sea, this kind of stuff happens all the time. And it happens so much, so often that you're like, oh, what else is new, right? But that's why, you know, I just want to take a second to kind of just show you what was popping off before this even ever got released. And this is, again, like, this is scary, right? This is very, very scary. So let me show you this. So check this out, right? The sailors on the Nimitz want this to be anonymous, but they went on and saying they knew about it, right, as soon as it happened. But they didn't want to announce it because it would have gone into the deck and the engineering logs. And the part about them telling the crew at 2300 isn't true. They told us at 0400 the next morning, right? They're saying it's safe now, but you can smell it coming out of the faucets. And so you're like, well, is this true? Like, is this really happening? Yes, it happens literally all the time on the ship. And what the Navy would do is they'll keep it on the hush because they don't want the families of the sailors who are out to sea, you know, contacting, their lawyers or attorneys trying to sue the military, because this stuff is dangerous, right? Having JP fuel in your water, whether it's your drinking water or your bathing water, or the water that you use to, like, shower with, dangerous, right? And check this out. This is what's happening. This is really what's happening. So they turned off our water. This says they turned off our water completely for 2 days and are not issuing water bottles. They have tanks outside the ship, but that's it. And they continue to insist it's fine, even though people are getting rashes and the heads stink like fuel. Meanwhile, the upper enlisted get issued Navy purchase cases of water. They don't care about the junior sailors. We know that. There are privileges that khakis get that junior enlisted don't get, right? And there's never a shortage of drinking water or cases of water. It's just like, well, you're not at rank. If you're not like the first class mess, you're not in the chief's mess, you're not in the officers wardroom, then this is what happens, right? And so not too long ago, I'm gonna show you this article, and I was actually on this ship. I was on the USS Abraham Lincoln, right? Not when this article was released, but I was stationed on this ship for deployment. And so in this article by Navy Time, they go on to say the fouling of the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln's drinking water late last month was caused by bleach water leaking into the ship's potable water tanks, officials confirmed this week, right? And why don't you want to drink bleach water? Well, it's with it contains fresh water, oil, chemicals, sludge, seawater, and other unpotable fluids that occur in the lowest space on a ship. So what we have here is water, okay, that's supposed to be used for drinking, okay, and supposed to be used for bathing, getting mixed in with oil, chemicals, sludge, seawater, and other fluids that will make you sick. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up, right? And you know, it's kind of frustrating how this kind of stuff happens. And when it happens, it's just like, oh, well, we'll get it fixed. And it is fixed. And even though they are saying it's fixed, it's not. Okay. This article here by businessinsider.com, the sailor on the USS Nimitz, which is the first, you know, messages I showed you in this video, the problem was way worse than what the Navy went to tell, you know, the public, the general public, right? And it says here that the sailor says this, we were exposed to an unhealthy amount of JP5. If you don't know what JP5 is, it's jet fuel. Okay, JP5 is jet fuel. Okay, on a carrier we have jets, so JP5 is just jet fuel. If you don't know what that means, okay. JP5 or jet propellant 5 is a kerosene-based fuel that is used in the military aircraft and is the go-to the Navy's carrier air wings. Okay, but you know, the sailor explains that although they and their shipmates drank and showered with the contaminated water, they were initially denied medical attention for issues that were believed to be related to their exposure to jet fuel. That happens too. That happens too, right? And of course, the Navy's gonna come out and say there were no ill effects, and that 5 sailors have reported issues that could be related to the contamination water, but the leadership was monitoring the situation and doing everything in their power, right? Doing everything in their power to prove and show that it really isn't as bad as people might say. And this reminds me, okay, this reminds me of this right here. This is what this reminds me of. I'm sure you've seen of this. You've heard of this, right? Camp Lejeune, water contamination health issues. This goes back to what happened, right, in North Carolina on the Marine Corps Cape Lejeune base, where they have had contaminants in the drinking water. And you can't justify financial compensation for something that could make somebody like terminally ill or even worse, die. Okay, so if you want, you know, the best wisdom to go about this situation, document everything. You need to document everything. You have to, because stuff like this is happening, and you know, it won't be until later where you find out, man, I actually drank that water. I actually bathed in that water. Now my skin has rashes. Now I'm breaking out in hives. Now I have issues with my bowels. This stuff is dangerous. Okay, so my, you know, biggest concern with, you know, this whole situation is the handling of it. This is the biggest concern and the biggest like disappointment is the handling of this situation. Because again, it's one thing to say it's a lot better than, you know, we initially thought it was, but you got your actual sailors who are experiencing illness or the stench of JP5 in the water, telling you it's not as bad as you think it is. It's worse. So if I were you, I would document when you went to medical. First, I would go to medical and ensure that you let them know you drunk the water. And if you're feeling ill, or you have diarrhea, or you can't hold food down, then you need to go to medical and document it. Even if medical's like, oh, it's not that bad, like, document it. Don't listen to these folks, because they ain't gonna be there to help you when you filing your VA claim, right? With the VA. Go to medical and document. If you're on the Nimitz or you're on the Lincoln, go to medical and document that you drunk the water that was contaminated with jet fuel, or what is this? Freshwater oil chemicals, and seawater. You need to document that, because if not, you're gonna be experiencing what some other service members have experienced with this Camp Lejeune water contamination health issues. Okay, so that's all for this video. Let me know your concerns down below. If you're on board the USS Nimitz or the USS Abraham Lincoln, my heart goes out to you. I just pray that in due time, when you do leave that ship, that your next sea duty experiences is better than those. And if you are getting out, well wishes with you there. And I hope to God that this video was helpful in just kind of sharing with you what goes on in the military when you're on a ship and you're out to sea and you experience, jet fuel leaking into the water system that is supposed to be for drinking and bathing. Okay. So I'm gonna close out with that. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them down below. If you're new to my channel, again, hit the subscribe button, tap that notification bell if you want to get notified whenever I post videos like these. And I look forward to sharing with you more insight on how to maneuver your military career and events like this in the near future. Be blessed.